Not a thing. Not a freaking thing. You cannot be transracial. Here's the thing. You can't be born into the wrong racial identity because you can't. We all look different. We all act different. We all behave differently. These are cultural norms. And you can't be born into a cultural norm. Remember Rachel Dolezal, the white woman that wanted to be black so bad that she only slept with black men, had to have black kids, braided her hair up, and did a non-offensive blackface? I'm calling it non-offensive because it wasn't offensive. She looked pretty natural, to be honest. I wasn't mad about that. That didn't bother me. I was pretty cool with it. I'm like, you know what? She wanted to do good work for the black community, and she did. She wanted to empower us. She wanted to support us. She wanted to love us. So much that she wanted to be us. And I would say that's probably in part because maybe she had some issues with people in her racial group. And she's like, yo, I don't want to be associated with this. And it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel natural. Even then, that's not transracial. That is identifying with a different culture. I don't even know if transcultural is a thing, but that could be a thing, honestly. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But ultimately, on Twitter, there's this guy by the name of Dave Checks. I was going to call him Cheeks. Dave Cheeks. He's got some pretty puffy cheeks. But Dave Checks, who made a post insinuating that he or her, I don't want to disrespect their pronouns, was transracial. And that they always wanted to say the N-word, and now they can. And then they said the N-word. And now they're removed from Twitter. And then as you do more research on this whole thing, you find out really that Dave Checks isn't a real person, and the person whose photos were used is actually a beauty guru, aspiring or professional or whatnot, and that their photos were stolen and photoshopped. So this whole thing's a troll, just so you know. This person doesn't actually push wanting to be transracial, but Dave Checks, the troll, was pushing the idea, and it got people really like out of sorts because it kind of pushed this idea that race can be something you can wear, you know, like you can just put it on and now all of a sudden you're black. And I think that so there's a lot of danger there in that because, and I'll be honest here, there is no black identity. If you get what I'm saying, like there is no singular black identity. We're all different. Like I have friends. Again, I grew up in the hood in Chicago, right, South Side. Like not the suburbs, in the actual city. Went to high school where I could have died. Let's be real about that. And I got picked on for being myself every day. By being myself, I meant speaking like I speak now. By being myself, it was like not being a thug. And I even took a moment to try to pretend to be a thug just in dress only. And I couldn't keep it up because I'm not good at faking. I'm not good at faking. So I couldn't even keep it up. But the thing is, like, I got picked on for being my version of black, which the thing is, my version of black is just my version of me. Like, I'm not identified by my race, unless you're the police. I'm identified by who I am, what I bring to the table, what I love, and who I love, right? And so, if you want to be black, you can't just speak a certain way, like, yo, what up, fam? Hey, man, it is what it is. We do what we do in these streets. You know, you can't just take on a black identity by speaking a certain way, walking a certain way, wearing certain stuff. You have to just be black. That's enough. Like right now, I could be wearing anything. I could be doing anything, and I am always black. Literally anything. Does not matter. Doing pull-ups, black. Eating cheese, black. Going skiing, black. Like nothing you can do can take away my blackness. I'm always black. You can't wipe it off. You know, that is the whole issue here. Like, when you're a transgender man or female, there's a genetic issue there where your hormones were not put in place in the way that they should have been, right? Because, like, if you feel like you've always been a woman on the inside, so if you've always been a man on the inside, there's good reason for that. There's good reason why you have those feelings. It makes complete sense. With racial identity, it's almost a man-made thing. This is cultural built. Like, culture is man-made. You know what I mean? Gender is not. Gender is gender, you know? But culture is something completely different because I could be, African black, and that's not the same thing as being American black. It's just different. And it's dangerous when people think that they can like take on identities and claim them for themselves instead of just saying that, yo, I feel more comfortable around blank. I wish I could be blank. But even then, there's issues with that too. You know what I mean? Because it's not all gravy being black. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's great. It's amazing. You got a big old sling-a-dang-dang-dang, you know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. We don't all have that. I'm sure there are black men with micro penises somewhere in the world. But I'm saying, like, it's not all great being black, but at the same time, it's not all bad either. There are advantages, there are disadvantages, like anything else. I'm sure the same thing with being white, Mexican, or anything else. Like, at the end of the day, that's my warning to get back to work. But like, at the end of the day, we need to be okay with being ourselves, but also accepting that we're all different, accepting that we're all people that deserve and have earned the right to own and love ourselves. So while Dave Checks may have been a troll, while being transracial is not a thing, I do want to say that there are people out there that may feel outside their own culture, though. You might be transcultural, that might be your thing. But even then, that's man-made, and you just like something that wasn't yours based on the way that the dice rolled on cultural handouts, Sorry, y'all, we got fried chicken. It's ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point, I'll say this, I did date a girl that used a lot of colloquialisms, a lot of slang, and it wasn't really offensive to me. It just felt weird at times, because I would, see her family, and I would, like, see her friends, and it felt like she lived in a very white world, And so for her to, like, kind of be like, now that she did this, like, yo, what up, fam? Or like, this song slaps. It just felt strange and weird to me sometimes, and it bothered me a little bit, but I'm like, yo, this is who you are. Be you. If this is who you are, own it. Get into this 100%, And sure enough, I mean, she went and marched in the Black Lives Matter rallies. She, decided that she, like, was primarily attracted to black men. That has its own things too. But, like, she got involved. She did her part. But that doesn't mean that she still, was able to kind of, like, claim some kind of transracial identity. But I could say that she felt better or happier around black things or that form of black cultural things, right? Because like me, like, I'm not sitting around going to the cookout every weekend, especially during a pandemic. I'm sitting at home playing VR. I'm playing video games, man. Is that your black identity today? Is that your black cultural event? Because that's what you're doing. Because I'm black and I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I think, like, the one great thing I'll say about our relationship that I have with that girl is that I was able to learn a lot from her about being a better man. And I think she was able to learn from me about being a better woman, but also, like, understanding, that loving someone and loving a culture is not the same thing as other things. And I do want to applaud her for the growth she's made as a person, like, over the time that I get to know her. And I also want to applaud anyone out there that has kind of gone through this kind of thing where you had a point in your life where you felt more comfortable with one person's culture over another, and you kind of found out who you were through that. I think, in a way, we're all doing that regularly. And I myself am doing that even today. Like, I'm still figuring out what does it mean to be a black 36-year-old. Because I feel like, you get to a point where, like, you don't try to chase the trends. You don't try to do the things that the kids are doing, Like, you don't. You just kind of find yourself where you are. But do you still speak a certain way? Do you still chase the slang? Do you just try to just push out of it and put on your polo sweater and go get a golf club, And like, what do you do? The answer is up to me. Because at the end of the day, I make my own identity. And I'm not defined by my culture. And if you are struggling with the same thing or that thing, I want to say, take care of yourself. Last but not least, this video was sponsored by the coldest water bottle you've ever seen in your life. Link in the description down below. the coldest water, CS10 for 10% off, and go get a free one. Go get a free one. The giveaway is always here. The giveaway is always down below. You do that, it helps me out, helps the channel out, helps yourself out. With that said, everybody, I want to say thank you so much for supporting the channel, supporting me. And if you are a transracial suffering individual, your thing isn't a thing. You know? It's like, you know, I think about like biracial kids sometimes. Like they can choose, you know? But then sometimes they just look in the mirror and they go, no, man, it's just who I am. This is how the world sees me. It's how I see myself. This is what I'm going to be, you know? And what I'm going to be is a human, you know? Like, you might want to use, you know, certain colloquialism, certain slang, and it might fit you. It may, cause I mean, I know some Asian dudes that like speaking slang sometimes, and it does not bother me. It actually fits them better than it fits me. So I'm like, yo, man, do your thing. Like, do it. You know, rock it out. It's I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like this kind of thing shouldn't even matter. It should really like lend down to being like, you know what, do what you want to do. I don't know why I'm gonna get offended by the way you decide to speak. You know, I don't know why I would even care that you wanna use slang. Like, I don't even know why it ever bothered me that my ex, you know, used slang on occasion. I don't know why. And I feel like even post our relationship, she might get back to doing it again. And I wouldn't fault her for that, because I feel like there's a guy out there that would love that and be like so into it. And just because it wasn't me doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. So these are all my thoughts, and I'm sorry you had to watch them. If you guys again want to support the channel, I do have a TikTok that's blowing up. Yeah. Anyway, I'll stop talking. See you guys soon, and ever use teleport.
You must be here for the Bustin' for Jesus Bible study, right? You here for Jesus, right? You ain't here to just lust after a white man's daughter. Better bust that for Jesus.